Okay.
Yep, you're ready now.
And I'd be so nauseated, it was in my stomach.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the emergency preparedness for August the 11th, 2025. We appreciate everybody being here. And I think Ray's going to join us, which is great.
Oh, wonderful.
Need his advice on a lot of stuff, so thank you, Ray. So, calling the meeting to order. Roll call, I guess we can start with
Yeah.
Karen.
Kathy Short.
Joyce King.
Randy Collins.
Looks like we have a quorum, thank you very much. And have you guys had a chance to look at the minutes from 7, looks like 14:25? Any questions? Any comments?
Chair, I move that we accept the minutes as presented, and they're excellent minutes, by the way.
Yes, very good.
I'll second.
Okay, so all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much, Gina, for the minutes. And also, want to thank Kim and the city staff also for the really comprehensive outdoor tsunami siren protocols that were attached to our packet. That was really
And I
very
gave you
insightful.
a few more extra things.
Great.
Give me a minute.
Okay.
I'm trying to get something done. Yeah, for a second.
Just see what I got.
Oh, that's
And
precious.
Kim said she was ordering it for her and it looked too much like squeaky.
One of
and,
your birds. I love it.
you know,
Where was that made? Just darling.
it's really cute. So cute.
I love it.
It's like quieter than
Yeah.
the others.
Yeah. The little wooden ones, like.
Yeah. So we're on pause right now, so Kim, can you join us?
Can I make a comment while we're on?
Yes, you may.
I just want to thank you guys for the National Night Out. That was such a fun event.
Yes, it was.
Such a huge success.
I think so.
And I'm just thrilled and so looking forward to a bigger, better.
Now, I agree with you. So that leads us into council committee comments. Kathy, do you have anything else to say?
I'm done.
Okay.
How about you?
I do, and so what we'll decide is if we want to put it on the agenda next time. I've reached out and I now have a contact with the Depoe Hills HOA.
Oh.
And I got lots to share about that.
Oh,
And so I don't know how much you want to hear now.
Mhm.
I mean, it is an investment community, I have their stuff. I showed up, they had an event a week ago Friday for 2 hours. And I went to that event along with every broker in the state of Oregon. So it was an interesting the assumption to be that I was there to be an investor or to be someone that was, because it is very much about being an investment community. My conversations that day and since then with the head of their HOA, Heather Bennett, is that there are no full-time residents. It is a rental community, it's all about investment. The townhomes that I toured have a 30-day rental. So I drove up actually today just to be sure. When you drive up Lillian, this is all phase 1, is what is now completed. There's still some tie-up stuff they're doing with phase 1. They've broken ground with phase 2, just determining lots. And boy, do they ever want to tell you what a great investment opportunity phase 2 is. And because I came at them with, hey, I went to your event, I've got some questions. It wasn't until I started asking questions about emergency preparedness and you understand where you live and that they reached. But even then, Heather, we did have a long conversation, even then, her shtick didn't change. So one thing I feel like we may want to put on the agenda in the future is how we talk about emergency preparedness in hospitality settings. And so I did a little research on that and found 2 modules that the state of Oregon puts available. And I looked at those and they're But anyway, me talking like we talk up to our community, to our Depoe Bay families, about being prepared, and about where you live, and about go bags, and about how can we help, and about barrels, all of that does not hit true at all with the people up at Depot Hills. They're nice enough, like I said, it was an interesting day, they had great food for those of you that didn't go, didn't it? I was the only one that went. The spread they put
Yeah,
out.
we were going to, but I think something changed, we just couldn't get it.
The food was
Oh, I didn't know
incredible.
that. I didn't know
Well,
that.
that's because they think you're a millionaire, you're gonna.
That's why we wanted to be treated like millionaires. That's why we
Incredible.
were gonna go.
I was there, a neighbor went with me because she was there in case I got to tap me on the hand if I needed to be walked away. And I do know that I need to take a handler wherever I go, I'm aware. And then, anyway, so, and the fire department was there, and we talked about this stuff, I mean, they were there. I found it interesting that they do not talk about residents, they talk about, and actually have what kind of revenue I would make being a investment homeowner up there. It's really that shtick. They are proud of their water tower, and they do immediately pull out Brady's name.
Ooh.
Way to go,
You know, so Brady, you were a major part of getting that water tower correct.
You should have gone for the food, right? You know?
Well, we were there.
You were there?
They were there for different reasons.
Yeah.
So I mean, they bring up their partnership with the city of Depot Bay and Brady Weidner from Public Works, and how this is when I started talking about, then when I mentioned, I said, so you guys have seen Dagami tsunami evacuation sign, seen it. When I explained that the 400 to 500 people coming up from Worldmark were coming to their neighborhood, I swear, not a phase, because they're not gonna be there.
Yeah.
These people aren't gonna be there, it'll be whoever they rent it to.
This phase,
This phase,
there will be full-time residents up there, but later.
Other phases. So, again, I don't know that we wanna get into all this now, because I know we have a lot on our
So
plate.
Kim, should we make this an agenda item so we can really talk about it and get your expertise?
Well, my only expertise is what I've been told about the cash container.
Mm-hmm.
That will be at a later phase, that's all I have.
So the people I was talking to don't have, they don't know anything about it.
Did you talk to Chris Vanderbilt?
So I'm telling you, I went to the event and spoke with the head of the HOA. The reason I sought that out is, what I was hearing from you is that we were on hold here until they had an HOA. And once they had an HOA, then the committee could start talking to them about emergency
That's
preparedness.
not what I recall saying, I recall saying that they're not even at any point talking to the developer head, the big guy.
Yeah,
That they're not at any point in giving us this cash location
Yeah.
until a later phase.
yeah,
So not because the HOA, because they have nothing to do with it.
that's
at this
exactly
point.
right, they do
The
know.
developer's going to get us the spot up by the tower we think right now. But that's a later phase is what he told me when I talked to Chris.
Cool.
And I
So
talked to the big cheese, the big guy.
So anyway, I would suggest, because now that this other phase is in,
Mm-hmm.
and I understand now, none of them and none of these, and then all of the properties, there are 14 finished from either 101 up to theirs coming up Lillian. 2 of them, one of them is not quite finished, one of them is for sale. Out of the remainder 12, 7 of them are Meredith Lodging Rentals. 3 of them, I can't tell if they're, because I feel like they may be rentals, they're just not Meredith. So I only identified possibly 2 full-time residents on Lillian. Because to me, that would be a resource for us to talk with them about how do you prepare, and we could get a barrel in their garage. Because
I'd have to check with my team to find out exactly how many of what's up there has applied for a short-term rental license.
Yeah, that'd be
Maybe all
great
of
to
them,
know.
maybe not.
Because I'm going on is the signs on the front and what their HOA, the way they call it, what Heather calls it, but they don't have an agreement with Meredith. It's not like Meredith does theirs lodging, it's just that many of these people have gone with Meredith.
It's easier to do it that way.
That's what I was told, so it's not like, anyway, so I think we've come to maybe talking with Meredith, I don't know. But I can tell you, our regular shtick doesn't fly amongst these people.
They don't care about the tsunami, now they should care about liquefaction and earthquakes, but they don't care about that stuff.
She knew, right, and they, and I.
Well, they're interested in the money and that's.
And they're not gonna be here.
Mhm.
Oh, I don't know.
They're not gonna be here, but like you said, the 400 people going up Walmart will be here.
Right, and so then when at that meeting, I would like to encourage us into connecting Worldmark with, Whale Watch, because that's what they, even though it's Depoe Hills, they're, the
That's the
email that I
phrase.
got, that's what they wanna call it.
Mhm.
And so the connecting, you said you know a head honcho, I just feel like that is in our best interest to try and resolve that
Mhm.
in some way. Not resolve it, but be sure that they're thinking, they're planning, we're planning.
So, Kim, when do you think it would be possible for us to even, I know your negotiations with the developer, to express our concern as a committee about our plans or what we're trying to convey to them about emergency preparedness?
The developer doesn't care.
Mhm.
Like Deb is saying, you need to talk to the HOA and you guys need to work with the HOA.
I just did.
Right, but the cash stuff is several years away because they're not at that phase. So there's really no point, HOA is not gonna care about that, developer says it's gonna come,
Okay.
but we're still some time out. But if you wanna start that communication, which Deb's already done,
Mhm.
that's what you need to be working on is the messaging.
They have no,
Right.
right, she doesn't. So anyway, so I sent the minutes, I sent this agenda and let her know she could, join, but I see she does not, which
And
doesn't.
right now, the people, if they go up Lillian Lane, they're gonna end up in that plaza, is where they're gonna end up, or they're gonna end up on the end of the road at Lillian Lane. That's where they're gonna end up, but
Right.
there's no cash, but they'll be safe, they just won't have,
They won't have anything.
The day after, right,
Right.
what
they won't
happens the
have the
next few days,
accommodations,
right.
but, you know.
They can figure it out when the water recedes, I guess.
No, it's assuming the water even gets, remember, everybody seems to be thinking now, and this came up with the tsunami, inundation for a local and distant tsunami does not go all the way up the city.
Mhm.
So there are gonna be impacts, but there are gonna be a lot of places that aren't,
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
so,
But infrastructure will be out, you won't be able to transport it
Yeah,
down.
it's the isolation.
Right, it's the isolation.
I don't want, 101 will be a problem,
Right.
you know, because we
Which
won't
then
be able to get
isolates.
across the bridge, but there are other ways
You
across.
can go down Williams or something, maybe.
That might be acceptable.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so just to let you know, because so possibly we can talk about how we address hospitality in general. And then we talked about, is there a group there, since there's not a chamber, then we can't go through there to talk with them, but take them all in one place. I also had the opportunity to talk to Nick Masella at the National Night Out. And he, as I'm standing with the barrel, he says, what about commercial? Because clearly, that's, so, knowing that he owns, some type of motel dwelling, I said, so, sir, how many guests do you have at a time? And he explained there could be somewhere near 20. And I said, so, sir, how would you provide for those guests in an emergency setting? I said, because if you need help on what to put together, we've got Ready America, we've got lists. And then, once you do that, and you tell the city you've prepared for your guests, I would love to put one of these barrels up there at your property, so that then you'd be able to handle all the other people that come your way. And that's, I feel like that message, maybe not quite so tongue-in-cheeky, but that message is the message we give commercial, right?
Right.
Show me, because he was ready to,
Recommend.
on me,
Oh,
and so anyway, I felt like the answer was good.
So
Like
did,
if you show me what you're doing for your, and I called them guests, because they are.
Yeah.
So if, once you've provided for your guests, if you continue to be concerned about everybody else headed your way because of your proximity to the water, that's exactly what these barrels are for. That's how that went.
Okay, when they see the draft of the short-term rental update ordinance and it says that they have to provide something,
That'd be
they'll say
great.
a different tune.
Is that true, is that real?
Oh, yeah. Based on
Thumbs up,
Oceanside
guys.
and Lincoln City and others are doing.
Thumbs up, that's so smart, because they don't do it, sadly, they just don't do it.
No, they want the city to do it.
That's right, and that's right.
So,
But then that's what I said, the state of Oregon's message to all of us is that we as individuals have to be personally prepared. And the state of Oregon is spending their resource money on making sure we have that education. And that's exactly what the city of Depot Bay is doing. That is why we are here, that is what we do. We try to get out the message about how you are personally prepared, because in these type of situations, you cannot point a finger, because no one's gonna get to you. You have to be prepared.
so Kim, I'm unclear, do we currently have an ordinance saying that dwellings need to prepare for their
No.
people?
No.
Is that something that we're thinking?
It's already been worked on. There's a
That's
draft
great.
that we have to
That's great. That's what
September.
Short-term rentals.
Mhm.
See, that'll make all the difference.
So it's-
Stuff like that makes the difference. That's it right
That's
there.
great,
That's huge.
yes.
Not necessarily, I don't think, it's been a while since I looked at it, but not necessarily a go bag as much as here's what they need to.
Sure, exactly
right. Make sure that they, have it, here's the situation, is that
And
the
we
city
have
is your
provisions
back, the
for.
city's your backup. We are not
Exactly.
your primary, and we shouldn't be your primary, because we
Good.
would be dealing with other things, like infrastructure.
That's exactly right. And that's,
So-
and
Randy's
that's
gonna have his hands full, keeping the water going and the
Piece of
toilets
cake for
flushing.
them,
Mhm.
piece of cake.
So
Anyway.
Deb, it's up to you, if you want it to be on the agenda item, we can further talk about it, if you would want to do that.
It's whatever, I just didn't want me to take, I just had, you did it.
Okay,
I think we should do it.
Okay,
Sounds
Okay.
pretty good.
Deb, good work on that, thank
Okay,
you for
sure.
your hard work, I appreciate you
Sure,
doing that.
sure. Well, hey, it was, as we all know, it was great food. It was great
Well, I
food.
was, I was in
The
Walmart.
giveaways, I considered, there were little fan packs, I thought I should bring them back for everybody. I already looked a little.
Are you your
so I didn't want to.
It likes
Because you filled yours with the food?
Oh, yeah.
Walking out like this with
Right,
armloads of
walking
fan
around.
packs and food.
Right,
Right,
right, yeah, I wasn't fitting in completely.
Okay, we can definitely,
I could picture the whole thing.
is there anything else?
No.
Okay, Karen.
I'd just like to share, Deb and I were on our way down to a coastal evaluation seminar when we got a call from Deb's sister saying, did you get the alert? And we're like, what? Right, we hadn't at that point. The first woman that, when we arrived there in Newport, wasn't aware of it, I don't remember her name, but the scientist people were all,
Laura was there.
Laura was there, she didn't know yet.
I
We had the information.
yeah, I have.
And then one of the other ladies that was here when we did the evacuation at Stanford, recognized us. I couldn't remember her name.
Me neither, she was, but she did, she was friendly.
Yeah, it was all good. There was maybe, 30 people or so there sitting around tables. And they had like pizza and vegetables and stuff to snack on. And they had us fill out like a
You had to take a test.
evaluation, like a little test. And then they passed out maps based on where you were from. And Deb and I were the only Depoe Bay, and we had different maps. You have the existing map, and then this is a proposed new map that they're adding, like landslide, right?
Oh, that's
Oh,
good, this is Gami, did you say?
Well, yeah, the universities are
Yeah,
remapping
okay.
everything. So I have
That's great.
a little map.
What I really like, I like the map, but I also really like what they put on the back of it.
Is there any way to get more of those?
Well, they're not official, this was like a
Sample.
test run.
Okay.
Page when we asked
Right,
for
we just-
one.
Yeah, we just, for us to walk out with anything, we had to turn everything in.
Oh, wow.
So the fact she slipped one in her.
Well, I asked for it and she tore it off. I didn't take it, so.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I wanted to, but I had my.
Yeah, right, we couldn't, we just have this one, but it was an
It
interesting.
was very interesting.
Yeah.
And then I found a thing, I sent it to Kim, I don't know if y'all saw it. Newport Police Department on Facebook shared a good example of the difference between an advisory and a walk and a walking, it's like tacos.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
have
that was
ingredients
cute.
for a taco,
Yeah.
tacos are being made,
Yeah.
and we have tacos.
Yeah, right, like.
Didn't you look in your packet?
No, not yet.
Is it here? Yeah.
cool, thank you.
That's
Yeah.
great.
That's really cool.
Okay, anything else? Okay, Kathy, nothing else for you. Okay, how about you, Randy?
Well, the Little Well Cove, just heads up, we did our third tabletop exercise
Oh, wonderful.
for emergency preparedness. And this one was focused, which is a demo of basically modeling around, a table, literally. What would happen in certain scenarios and how we would respond, how each of the committees of communication and the medical and all that stuff would respond. And the theme for this one was fire. So that there was a fire, there was no access in or out. It went, again, we learned a ton from those things. So we just finished that. We did activate the safety committee in Little Whale Cove for the tsunami warning, and it really went well. It was a great
Good.
test again for our communication, especially primarily at that point for the communication, because obviously it didn't, come to event, but it definitely showed a couple minor weaknesses and stuff that we continue to build on. But we did, I think they did already, I haven't read it yet, submitted an after action report for that as well, so.
Did you guys gather in your community hall, or did you just keep everybody in ready?
Everybody we were at that point just making sure people were
Just
in
in
line
ready.
with the listening,
Just in
the
ready.
listening
Got
and the communication. And we had communicated that it was an
As an
advisory.
advisor, perfect.
But then when it got to it's the all clear, people felt good, and I mean, sure, it's that relief, but I think they felt good about knowing something, having the information.
Yeah.
Would,
Were we
Well,
gonna
it's-
see that cute video?
Oh,
that you
yes.
showed me?
We're not on that agenda.
Oh, I'm sorry, okay.
and yeah, that's it.
Okay, sounds good. Well, I have a couple of things. So Kim, this is your thing, right?
That was actually in the Lincoln Leader, one of the articles. I thought it was a great article on having some things that I need to make sure in lines with, it was an interview about people who did what during the watch, then advisory, not a warning.
Okay,
So,
Yeah,
so I
sorry.
provided that plus the memo on the 3 cities in the coast that have. So
thank you.
it kind of goes with that.
I appreciate that. So I have a couple of things. When I was at, when Deb and I were at the night out, Marlene had the table next to us, and she said that Dagami has recently come up with new information. And so Deb asked Gina to make copies, so you should have a copy for it. There's no maps or anything like that. There's just updated information that was interesting. You don't have that? Okay.
Yep, it's this one right here. This guy.
Oh, no, it's actually a 40-some page thing. Oh,
Okay, this
I
would,
didn't, okay.
this would be, it starts out looking like this. Let's see, it goes from page 41.
I can do that right now.
Okay, yeah. Deb, what were those pages to?
41 to 70. Just take it through the,
41 to 7.
yeah, it's right, when she flips, just going to do it all the way to the resources.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe five of those.
Yes.
I think it was from 75.
Gina, you need 6. 5 for the group, 1 for me, 1 for you.
Okay. Yeah, so anyway, it's just updated information. There's no maps or anything like that, but there's just some new information on charge. Thanks, Gina.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
So this.
All right. And
So that's gonna kind of lead to the updated things,
I think
then on
so.
maps and future
think
charts and
so.
stuff. Great.
yeah, it's, they have not published it yet. It's just, it's in the kind of raw
Great.
stages. It's interesting about Marlene. I was talking to her and she explained a little bit more about what she does with the human resources. And so she was saying that they are really in charge of evacuation. That's their thing. And that Tillamook and Newport and Coos Bay currently have evacuation, I guess, centers to where people from Newport, people that can get to those areas can be evacuated out. And so then places like, is it Prineville?
Right.
There's places like in eastern central Oregon that are even getting more advanced. Their places have good water sources. And so those are gonna be like evacuation areas, not just on the coast, but for the whole state. And so that's sort of what she works on, and she, you know, comes and does events and things like that, but I really like her, and I think she's really smart and has really good resources, and, yeah, so that was fun. She wasn't feeling well, so she left early, but, yeah, I enjoyed talking to
It's a
her.
good network, thanks for doing that.
I agree, thank you. Also, Kim, thank you very much for the little, awning over our tent, that was appreciated, thank you very much. And, I thought Night Out was really good, we talked to a lot of people. I like that location because you know, Deb and I like jump out and grab them, you know, as they went by, so that was good.
Every time I went by, you guys had food
Yeah.
and people
Yeah.
standing around your tent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think the cookies were a good idea, except when about 20 people from Neighbors for Kids all wanted a cookie. And so I felt real bad because I didn't want to give them all my cookies because we wouldn't have any cookies.
I gotta talk to Toby next year.
You have to talk, yeah,
They're going to Toby because they
they were after everything.
upon and got all kinds of prizes.
Right, all the prizes.
Yeah, they.
I gotta talk to them about it. I'm working out some ideas on dealing with that next year. They won't be in the grown-up prizes. They're
Oh,
these
there you
games
go.
and
That'd be
everything.
Yeah.
We're gonna buy these little Oriental Trading Company toys that they can win at these games,
Yeah,
and that's the extent of their.
yeah, I
That's a
had,
good idea.
I had one little kid that kept coming back and he had a friend.
Yes,
and
so
he
did
He
we.
had a cousin and he had a this and a that. And so finally says, well, I started saying, if you want this, you have to give that back, you know. You know, just sort of like, oh, yeah, get out of here. You know, 'cause I'm like,
I think what we'll do is next year we'll provide candy that you can just get the kids.
That's a
and
great
get cookies
idea.
for the adults.
Yeah, I think people like the cookies, but it became a problem because finally I had to start hiding the cookies from the kids.
I know, we had to do the same thing.
Oh, you did,
That's
okay.
so
yeah.
interesting, wow, yeah, let's.
All right,
So then the
so,
prizes would be for 18 and up.
yeah,
The big prizes, yes.
And that would be,
But I'll have some stuff for the.
Right, but that's an easy thing to, because that's just the way it
Oh,
is.
yeah, I noticed it this year, I was like,
Oh, yeah, it was
we gotta
hard.
do something about that, cause there was way more banning kids this year than
Right,
last
so
year.
the
Which is
raffle
good.
tickets are for 18 and up, it's just,
Yeah.
that's all.
I think so, I think so. Okay, now I'm gonna have just a few things, I'll try to go really quickly. So I'll be in Walport on the 23rd of August to help them with their B2 Weeks Ready program, I think I mentioned that to you. I've also talked to, I've left a couple messages, and then Randy has too, for Sherry Beard, our local CERT person, to try to get a backpack. And finally, I talked to David Jameson, who I took the training with, and he says Samantha Buckley does have backpacks. And he sent an email to her, and he's trying to hear back from her, and Susan said she's out of town or something. Then he's trying to get us a backpack, and Randy and I would be eligible for a backpack because we took the training here in Lincoln County. Now, do you guys have?
I didn't do the testing, I didn't show up, I chose, anyway,
Okay,
I don't.
okay,
I don't
because
want it.
I do have some information about backpacks. He gave me a really good, information about where to get them, so I do have that information. And we could get them from Amazon and stuff, but these are really, really good backpacks, they look like. And also Tillamook, it's kind of interesting. So here's, I'll show these to you, Karen and Kathy. Yeah, these are two of the backpacks that I liked. And so, Bill Masella gave Kim information. This is really cool. It's from the Chamber of Commerce in Tillamook, and evidently, I'll just read the most important thing. The city of Tillamook is calling on residents to be prepared in our community while North and South County have actively pursued emergency preparedness. Central County needs more support to ensure our neighbors are truly equipped for a crisis. The city aims to develop a trained network of community volunteers. Preparedness starts at the local level, said so-and-so, the city manager, and we need residents who are ready, willing, and able to step up when it matters most. And one of the things that Marlene mentioned to me, and of course Marlene is all part of this, is that there is a program from the state that actually does this type of thing. And we've talked about map the neighborhood. It's the same thing it's more on a city basis. And so I'll try to get more information from Marlene. I asked her about it. So if Tillamook's doing it, so we can do it. You know, we can figure out what they're doing and how we might want to do it. So that's something that I'm looking into. And let's see, I think that's all I've got for comments, what have you. So, old business. So Kim, do you have an update on Stonebridge?
Yes, I gave you guys tonight a map that shows that the Stonebridge Cache, they have this for me, it is not going to be in the wetland delineation.
It's not going to be what, please?
No.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you, Kim, it's what?
It's not going to be in the wetland delineation.
It's
zone.
not?
I know, the green is the wetland delineation zone.
So we
Others
can
and
put a
everything.
cache
So, yes,
there?
you will be able to put a cache there.
All right. Oh,
But that new president is a pain in the butt, so.
Well, you know, can we fire her? You know?
Well, nobody else wants the job, so,
Uh-huh,
you
yeah,
know,
that's
Hey, that's a pretty good end. We have the president as the person. So, we'll have.
Nice job.
So what are our steps going
Yeah, what's
forward?
next?
Well, let's talk at the end about that, I have an idea.
Okay, all right,
I don't know worth anything, but I have an idea.
sounds good. Cash supply management. So we have 3 containers of stuff that we have a pretty good idea of what we have. We have to figure out, looking at everything, dividing everything, and making sure that we, there's things that we still need, but I have a fairly good idea about what we have that came in from Ready America. I know some things came in from other sources, and I'm not 100% sure of what that is, but we just need to look at it. Once we do that, then we need to divide it, and we have 3 different areas that we talked about putting them in. It's a huge job. It's a huge job. So, I know Deb is a school teacher. He's a school teacher. I'm a recruiter. I can maybe recruit people. Kathy's the manager. Karen, you have a wonderful background. So we've got some ideas, but I'm not sure how to tackle this. And Randy, did you or Deb or anybody have an idea?
If it was my house,
Mm-hmm.
I would take everything, put it out where I could see it,
Mm-hmm.
and then I would divide it into 3.
Okay, so there's some challenges with that.
Okay.
Okay, so you would divide it into 3 once you knew what all you had, right?
Once I knew what all I had.
What all you had, okay. So I know you talked about doing it at the storage unit. We can do that. We can get everything there.
Yeah.
And there is a place where I parked my car.
Right.
We can have this a staging unit, because I'm afraid for people coming into
Yeah,
the,
no, that's true.
I'm afraid that people be
The
driving.
majority of the stuff is here,
Uh-huh.
anyway.
Why wouldn't we do it here? You haul it all the way over there?
space.
Brady, would we be able to use your driveway to put all of our stuff out and inventory it? I'm sorry,
the caches.
Oh, yeah.
Just use your side of it, just use the back side of it, we don't use the whole part.
Okay,
No, that's fine, yeah.
You know, we don't use the
That
whole
should
part.
work out
Okay.
fine.
all right.
So
So,
we're not including the fire,
The last time I saw it, it was dripping wet inside.
oh, is it still?
So I haven't been in, but I think, yes. I also think that I need some clarity on the fact that where we're putting this stuff, the moisture's out of them, and I don't know. I haven't been in since I put the stuff in there that day. Has anybody?
no, but we're gonna, after, in a few minutes, we're gonna go out and look at the cache.
Okay, that's
And
dandy.
we're gonna look at
I
them.
think
But you were gonna look at not the big one, not the fire department cache.
No, but the little ones.
Right, and I just wanna point out on the green one, the city does not own the green one, so the guys are not responsible for keeping it maintained.
Perfect,
So,
totally understand.
I mean, you can include it, but we're not, Brady and Paul and their crew are not responsible
No,
for
I
maintaining it.
completely
That's up to
understand.
the fire department. We did what we did, and it still hasn't seemed to matter, so.
Completely understand, completely understand.
Well,
So
so-
the dehumidifier is not working?
not in the fire department one.
Number one, somebody has to go in and empty it, and number two, something happened with the fire, the power, right? Something,
Yeah, at
if
least.
there's a power switch, somebody's gotta go in and make sure it's on.
So we have some, so if we can do that here, that's great, we can, hopefully everything's in boxes, or most of it, where we can say this is this, and it goes in this stack.
In the
Okay.
two remain, right?
And then I have protocols that I have here for different things, so we can have like, and I'm gonna get the duct tape, so I can have like a red for medical protocol.
Right.
And have there's the red stack, and there's the blue stack, and so forth, so I have this. And I have this is a fairly good idea of what we've got, you know, the best of my
Why don't
ability.
you, get a copy of that and I'll update our
That'd be great,
Excel
that would be terrific,
sheets on that.
because I have I have your stuff in here
Yeah,
too.
So since you're, so those two containers
That's the
that we're talking about,
Mhm.
not the fire, those two containers, they will always be right there.
Well, maybe not,
Maybe not.
like what if we wanna send it somewhere else, like that
That's,
space by my house on Winchell, I mean, there's a perfect spot for one over there.
that's what I was asking a question for, because if they're gonna take it
from
here, I don't understand that.
But we wanna have them in different parts of the city.
I know that. Why would we get another
We
cat?
might,
These two are perfect here.
we might, you know.
Okay, so that's why I asked that question. If those two are staying right there, then it's not like we're splitting stuff into
No.
thirds.
Well, but the thing is that don't you wanna have at least a third of it and.
Oh, absolutely, a third of it goes, well,
No.
I don't, so let's talk about sites, let's don't talk about units. Right now, what I'm hearing, we have 2 sites where there are caches, am I right? We have 2 sites,
We have the storage unit in City Hall.
and we have City Hall, we have 2 sites.
And aren't they both basically in the one island?
Yes, well,
Yeah, exactly. That's what I don't understand, why we're
we
keeping everything here.
Well,
when we're
because
supposed to
we're-
be.
Right, we don't wanna keep, I would
No.
not.
I don't.
If
agree
there
with
were, okay, so, sorry, this is the teacher. So if we have 2 sites, then we split it into halves. If we have 3 containers that are at 3 sites, we split it into thirds. My question to the group is, how many sites do we have?
currently we have 2. And so that's what we have storage unit and we have here.
Here. So,
But look at the proximity. I don't understand why we would split it all up to put it all over there when we've got everything
oh,
right here.
we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not splitting it all up to put over there.
Oh, we're not,
That's not in the mix.
okay,
That's not in the mix. Taking everything out.
Yeah.
And then we see what we have, and then what I wanna know is, are we dividing it into halves, or are we dividing it into thirds?
I think it's safe to divide it into halves because we don't have a third spot right now.
We'll have
But I would like to have even stuff here
Here,
and even stuff
there.
so why don't we keep, why do we have, we've got tons of money in the budget. Why don't we keep everything right here? And supply, if we need stuff over there, over there. I don't understand this. We've got tons of money to get this going.
So
So why are we
if
having to
so
divide and conquer? That doesn't make
because
sense.
do we have room in these 2
Yes.
cups currently for all of the other stuff?
I didn't think you did.
Okay, so, okay, I hear you. Okay, so let's transport to an event.
Mhm.
So people are coming for help. Will the people that come here, will they also be able to walk there?
No,
Why?
it's all locked up with the,
No. In an event, and it's all open, is there any reason why the same people won't get to both of these units? Talk of these sites. I come here, there's been an event. I come because I know that there's supplies here. And so I get water and I get food here. But over at the other one is the medical. Is that okay, or do we want the stuff divided to where if I show up here, I can get all services. And if I show up there, I can get all services.
Okay, that's
Just
a question, so Randy.
describe to
what
me
do you
that
think?
day.
What do you think, Randy?
I think that a couple of things. One is I'm considering the anchor storage and here the same site in my
Yeah,
opinion.
me too.
Because it's an island. We're
Yeah.
serving the same island. But the other question that I'm wondering is, if we have the resources now, should we do it to where we prepare? Do we have another site possible in the short term?
Right,
Stonebridge.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
so
take
if
that
we
one.
do,
Yeah.
then I think rather than take it all apart and do it into thirds, then
Let's do
we should
Stonebridge.
plan for that and then move one of the, or get a new one,
We need to get a new one.
well, then,
So
Because
is
it's
it
for
North
that
or
side of
Stonebridge?
town.
yeah,
If we have 200 people here, we've got them all in one location,
Right.
we've got everything right here.
I agree.
Then Stonebridge on that side of the river would have 200, enough for 200
Yes.
people also.
Yes,
So
okay, now tell
why
me
should
how,
we
tell me
divide
how Anchor fits in here.
I don't understand how it can fit in at all.
I
But
think,
it has the mobile ones in it, and I don't see how, you've got to have one person, otherwise you've got to have two people
Right.
trying to run everything, and I think one location makes sense.
How long does it take to walk from here to there?
15 minutes.
to anchor storage,
From here?
well, less than that.
Okay,
Yeah,
so it's fast.
It would take me 15 minutes.
So proximity, so what I'm hearing is that these two areas where there are supplies is considered one site because of their proximity. Is that what and I don't want just this, is that what you think too?
Well, let's get Karen's opinion.
I know this is the thing, but I'm just trying to, because see, I wasn't picturing site, I was picturing containers. There's 1, 2, 3 containers, and I'm picturing these divided into 1, 2, 3. But now I'm hearing I need to picture it site, which would have to do with accessibility.
Karen, what do you think?
I think we should have the same stuff in each unit, wherever they may end up being, but I agree too, these are so close, it's the same island. I don't think we should have duplicate stuff unless we're gonna just stage it when we divvy things up, to go into the new container once it's on site.
Oh,
For
And that's
example,
what-
Stonebridge.
is our,
And then we could
That's
move
what
it.
my understanding.
so my question is Stonebridge container stuff in these containers?
No.
So we haven't purchased Stonebridge
No,
container
no.
anything. So all of this is for site 1.
Right.
Site 1 happens to be anchor storage and the 2 containers here in the parking lot. And so everything that we purchased is going to get inventoried and better put, because I can tell you, it's all just stacked in there, I put it in there. So we have to pull it out, fix it to where it's accessible,
Divvy it.
and divvy it to where, and then we're gonna put it where stuff is together, because right now,
And I would put the stuff in the storage that is gonna go into Stonebridge.
but Stonebridge never bought any of that.
But we can,
But we
but
will.
we will.
Yeah.
And so we
Will.
want a place to put it.
And so right now, do we have room in these two?
I thought that was the place that we're kind of having as an overflow, but definitely for when we get stuff. We can't take everything out of the things and start over.
I didn't realize that.
Oh, it's temporary storage.
Yeah.
Oh, so all anchor is where we have stuff stored,
Holding
we have fuel our stuff.
To rotate the inventory.
Interesting, and then where the barrels are.
Pardon me, I have to interject,
Okay,
because
cool.
it's not why we got anchor storage.
Yeah, right, why did we get anchor storage?
Because it was supposed to be
Another
a assembly cache location.
An assembly cache location.
Yes, it was supposed to be to help people out that needed the spot, because we wanted another one on this side.
Okay,
I can go back to the
Oh,
minutes and
assembly,
look
I
at
thought you
that.
meant putting
No, no,
together
no, that's
assembly. You mean
I
gathering.
mean, you can choose to do what you want with it, but it was not ever designed to be an overflow.
Well, that's what I understood, but where we're looking at today, we have stuff over at anchor storage. And so if we decided that's not gonna be a site, it's gonna be part of the conglomerate, can we put everything in anchor storage right now into here and use that as another storage unit?
okay, so, I don't think so. Not only because we've been in it, I mean, I've been in this one's, this is both of right. I wanna address what Kim just said. Okay, so picture an event, 200 people showing up. Do we really want everybody showing up here? Don't we want to be able to, because this would be a lot of people right here. It does give us the ability to have two distribution. Now I'm thinking of sites being distribution areas. Do we want all distribution coming from this parking lot, or do we wanna split it between this and this? I'm not giving the answer here, I'm just trying to picture the day, picture the people.
And
How does that look?
my response in thinking that is with this being the emergency operations center, that this should be dedicated primarily for logistics, communications, all those kind of things, and that the anchor storage site be the spot for supplies and such for this area, so that we don't get everybody, while they're trying to manage the city response, they're getting, all the people showing up.
Interesting.
Good point.
And that we then use these two, we prepare these two to go to, one to Stonebridge and
To leave the parking lot?
a third spot.
How do we get into that?
We got
area
smaller ones that could fit on the trailer, I thought.
What if,
If it's a gated lot,
if it's an event, you basically lock a bolt cutter out of the warehouse.
We have keys to get in there.
Well,
Well, there
that's my
won't
point,
be any electricity, so you're gonna have to climb the fence anyway and
to get into
break it down some.
the anchor storage gate is
Well, I
electric.
don't know how they'll. do
Is it
that.
possible, Brady, to move one of these containers to Stonebridge?
We're gonna get a bigger container for.
we need a
Okay.
bigger one.
Oh, okay.
Because we've gotta have enough for 200 people on this side and 200 on that side, so we need
Okay,
two areas for 200 people.
okay, great. So then I would say to you, Mayor, when we talk about the 200 people coming over here, I think you strongly need to
Yeah.
separate your
They have them
distribution
all.
between the two areas. You can't have everybody in this thing.
Small.
You can't have that just be our staging area. You've got to have both distribution sites. Cause
I
it's too
gotta see
many
how to
people.
get into the place.
Huh?
I gotta see how to get into the place.
Well, in an event with the gate would not be able to keep them out. We would-
That's what you got big trucks for.
Yeah, well,
So,
If you ever seen an emergency movie, how did they get their gates
Sorry, I
out?
just heard the Mission Impossible theme in my head.
Okay, so I would
Say, Brady, go drive through that gate.
And that's what I meant with the
So
bolt
Deb
cutters,
has
is
put
basically
on the floor that she
you
thinks
cut
that
their
we.
drivetrain bolt
Okay,
thing and just
No
move it.
problem.
So Deb has put on the floor that she thinks that we should consider this
two distributions.
two distribution centers. One with the same stuff. Okay, Karen, your thoughts?
I like the idea that Randy mentioned, that this is gonna be, do we want it to be a full distribution center?
Here?
If this is gonna be emergency operations, do we want hundreds of people here when all the city people are trying to manage everything going on in the city? Well, I don't know what
We should have
happens,
some here,
right, to supply the people that are working here.
mostly, yes.
Yeah, but maybe not for the general public to show up, we can direct them.
I think they're gonna show up anyway.
But we can direct them there if it's walkable, but I've never been there, so I don't know how big that is.
It's the size of a garage.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's big.
So it's equal to the two here.
And what's really nice, I have to say, as long as we have infrastructure, it is climate controlled, so we don't have to worry about the condensation in there.
That's right.
Which we have to worry about the condensation.
So
when it comes to what we don't have to worry about, climate control should be,
So Deb
I
is,
think it's two sites. I think it's two sites. I
okay,
just,
and Karen, do you think it's two sites?
I think it should be, the ones here to supply the EOC, but I don't know what that looks like either. How many people are here to run that? I mean, there's probably gonna be a lot of coming and going based on.
I'm thinking if we do it, we should do it evenly. That's just my thought. Okay, Kathy, your thought.
I'm gonna pass on this.
Okay.
Because I understand why, because we're right here, it's like next door. It's all one place. I understand why you're picturing all of the effort to pull this and then to separate it and then put it right back in. I understand why you're saying what you're saying. Because
Oh, I'm not even thinking right now about the process of sorting things,
I know.
trying to think of the end product.
So let's think about that, guys. Do we even need to do it?
Oh, the way it's in, I can tell you,
Well,
I'm
we
the
have to
last one in
organize
there,
these cash.
we need to get in there.
And, you know, we need to, as a city employee, one day to help us put in shelves, categorize everything like we've seen, like up on the hill
Yeah.
up there at the college, and organize it all.
Okay, so yeah, I know we need to do that. So we're, okay, you're saying 2 sites, 2 distribution centers, and you're in agreement with that? Yeah. Other than maybe weighted towards the storage unit, just having more?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just for clarification, what I'm basing my understanding of that is that we already have permission to, when the time comes, to buy a larger cache, and we are then gonna put in Stonebridge.
Yes.
Yes.
And will we get additional supplies for that, or is that coming from?
No, that, we'll get additional supplies,
Okay.
yeah.
Well then, yeah.
Oh, okay, so you think 2 sites, Randy is 2 sites.
Okay.
And 2 distribution center,
Well, it
okay,
makes it easier than 3.
okay. I'm abstaining, like Kathy, so the 3 of you think that we should have 2 sites, 2 distribution centers.
There you go.
So you have to put some number ready.
All right, that was
And did it
painful.
go before, can I ask for some clarification? It went
Sorry,
to-
I'm playing with fans.
I know, I keep playing with it. And the council, as far as the council thinks, they think we have 2 distribution sites.
I don't know what the council.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, that- I've been
The way it was
told you.
presented to them was that there's 2 distribution.
That's what I've been telling you.
Otherwise, why would we have gotten storage?
Okay, all right, thanks, because I just don't, I just don't wanna.
Okay, so when are we going to do this?
I can't do it in August at all.
And you need to give Brady totally at least 2 weeks
Yeah.
notice because he's got a schedule and stuff.
Right,
Okay.
his schedule not to use the park
That or to be here.
to do what?
To help with.
Help, you guys want help moving things around.
Yes.
Kathy
And
just
putting up
asked us to move
shelves
things
and
around.
all of that.
Okay, we built the shelves last week. I literally can lift a shelving unit on my own. I mean,
She's
yeah,
the woman.
I'd be glad to have the help. I have not found that too.
If you need the help, schedule Brady at least 2 weeks in advance,
Okay.
especially since I think we got meter reads in this month?
Yes.
What?
Meter reads in this month, so this crew will be busy.
So,
Next week.
Okay, so we're looking at
so we
September.
have to look at, okay, we've got probably August and September before it starts raining. So I see, the earlier the better, I know that you're gone in August pretty much. Deb, when do you restart?
So I'm taking care of my sister's farm the first 2 weeks in September.
Mhm.
So I can do September 19th.
September 19th, okay?
I can do that.
I
Okay,
cannot,
and how about you,
I
Randy?
cannot,
I'm sorry.
I cannot.
Okay,
September 19th.
September 19th, what does your world look like for you?
It's fine. That'll work.
He'll put
okay,
it on his calendar. Gina will make sure it's put on his calendar.
okay, and so Kathy.
Okay, so if it is a, I won't say bad, if it's a rainy weather day, we're not doing it, cause
No.
we can't pull all that out in the
Can't,
rain.
So Deb, Joyce, and Kathy can do September 19th.
Right, got
Okay, Karen, okay, all right. So September 19th, let's just do it as long as.
So let's get started at
Let's
9:30.
get started, 9:30, okay, sounds good, all right.
That's
We're gonna be here.
the fall
Yeah.
kite festival that I put
Okay.
on.
Oh, yeah.
Like I
Well, that's
said.
okay, Randy, we'll get you
Friday,
later,
Saturday,
you know. Do you have any idea when in
If you guys
September you might
want
be able to do this?
It's okay, I'll get Carrie to see if he can work, and we can see if Dennis wants to work, and we can see if, what's his name? wants to work.
Kenny,
Kenny, yeah,
don't forget Kenny.
yeah, see if
Oh,
Kenny
yeah.
wants to work.
I know, and Ken loves to work.
Yes.
Yeah, he really does, so that's good. Okay, so September 19th, and then, like I said, Randy, well, I'm sure you'll be able to, help us out.
Okay.
Okay, so that's good, so that should be just, what's that?
Sorry, question, so do we have to do any more at this point about having things set up to buy a cash
No.
container? That's all set, so that when we have Stonebridge available?
Well, I think Kim can address that, you can do that now or later. we'll do it later.
Buying
Yeah,
cash
the
container.
answer is we've got.
You have $150,000 right there.
Yeah, we have
Mine is
money already
for
set
the
aside.
wetland delineation.
And so Kim can talk to us about.
Remember, we looked at the type package
Right.
and we based our budget based on the type package, I think for 200,
Okay,
but it might be 150. I'll have to
and I
look
guess
at it.
my question
I
is,
can bring it to the next meeting, and so our next question will be to look at getting somebody to come out and give us a quote on clearing the land. And put in a concrete pad and all that fun stuff, that's also very expensive.
Yeah.
I heard there's a new concrete in town, so we'll find out.
and that's my question, I wanted to make sure that we have it planned so that it's on, okay, thank you.
So how about the space over by my house behind the mailboxes? Should they do that at the same time? Or worry about Stonebridge first?
Stonebridge first, we've gotta get that one done, let's not
Okay.
get too many going at
Sounds
once.
good. Okay, so you'll bring us a quote next meeting?
I should have something by next
Okay,
meeting.
that sounds good.
Okay.
But to answer your question, Randy, we have, plenty of money to clear it, concrete it, build it,
And fence around
and,
it.
and supplies in this year's budget.
My question was more about, do we need to do something to put it in action?
Right,
That's
because
my
we have-
question, because otherwise,
Because we run into that.
well, she just said, we're,
Well,
We have an
my
action
next
plan.
step was to let you guys know, and
now we,
now we know we can move
Yeah,
forward.
and it's already been approved by the city
Yes,
council.
it has been.
do we need to do something in this body to give you the go-ahead to get that bid?
No, I mean, you guys are very cool, so I would say the only thing you would tell me is if you decide you didn't wanna do it.
Okay, great.
Otherwise, I'm gonna proceed forward as if we're going to get it done.
That's great, thank you.
That sounds
So,
good.
but one of the also next steps will be, actually, probably the next step will be getting with this pesky Sturbridge HOA board members and getting an agreement in place.
So how many are on the board?
5.
And how many, so, okay.
But we have that kind of draft discussion and I'll get us a draft agreement, MOU that we can all use.
Okay.
Which I'll probably run it by Stonebridge board first and then we'll bring it to the council. But in the meantime, there's no reason to stop me from getting quotes, so.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Sounds good, thank you.
This is exciting, guys.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I know.
Because we've
I'm
been really
so-
wanting the Stonebridge thing
I'm
for
so
a while.
happy about
This is
that.
very
That's
exciting.
great.
Well, and since you guys are talking about it, let me just jump ahead to one of the things I discovered recently is that, and I'm looking in for information, I don't
Are you
have a lot.
looking at this right
I
now?
gave you some extra pages on this,
Okay.
EDA, US Economic Development Administration. They've got a grant open for frequency pathways, and one of them is called Preparedness, which is a non-construction grant generally ranging from $250,000 to $150,000. Well, I would, and it's open now, so I would suggest and I'm gonna contact them and, say, we wanna do this, and can you give us money to purchase none of the construction stuff?
Right.
You know, to purchase the container, the generator, the supplies. See if I can get this to do this instead of us paying the money. It's a rolling deadline, which means we can do it anytime, but I figured I would work on it sooner rather than later.
Fabulous.
And it's nothing, it doesn't hurt, I mean, Karen's been saying this a lot to me lately. It's only no if you don't ask.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Yes.
don't know what it is gonna be until you ask, so
Yeah.
I'm a big favorite of throwing pasta grant and
See
seeing
what
what
sticks.
sticks. And if I get money, I get money, if not, we move on, but you have a backup.
Right.
So, I think there's a 20% match, you got that, so,
Nice.
good shot for it, but I need to clarify what they would consider construction.
Yeah.
It certainly will probably be the earth moving and putting the pad down, but it may not be the fencing. So, that's the kind of clarification.
What are you considering of the Stonebridge? Certainly larger than the huts we have out here. What size are you looking at?
I forget what he said in their report, remember the engineer report, so I'll have to take a look at that, but I forget exactly what he said. But he thought we could get a decent sized container there, certainly bigger than this out here.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 of those out there, is what I'm thinking. There's gotta make room for the concrete pad, and the fencing and the lighting and all that. Again, those HOA folks are really being strict on stuff they think they should have on it.
Okay. Have the Stonebridge people said anything about a conflict of interest as far as your being the for the city?
No, believe me, I will be fighting with the city, with the council.
Okay.
Actually, there's really nothing to fight. The MOU will be pretty simple. Stonebridge has already positioned what they think, and I don't think the city administrator pushed back at anything. I think she just wanted clarification of things like the signage they want and who gets to enforce things. For example, the Stonebridge HOA wants no parking signs. No problem, and they've had problems up there. But we talked about enforcement, and the message is, and this will, the MOU will be that Stonebridge enforces it. So,
Yeah, because we can't send a truck up there 15 times a day.
no, so it's that sort of stuff. So I think we're fine on that, as long as we just gotta iron out the details, and, the agreement will be presented to both parties. I don't make the final decision. As a board, I don't make the final decision. I will express, as the council, I'll express that I am a member of the Stonebridge HOA, but the meat of it was put into place before.
That's really good.
This would be fantastic.
It would be nice if we
Yep.
could get it, and I was like, oh,
Yep.
never thought about these guys.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
But I think I have to tie it in some way to recuperating based on some kind of an economic development activity, but I'm still researching that.
That sounds wonderful. Okay, so we're going to see post-barrel radio protocol. Deb, how did that go?
Okay, so, radios.
I'm such a teacher.
So here's what is in the barrels. And so we have 7 hosts. On last Saturday at 10 a.m., we had a test and 5 of us were able to participate. And all 5 of us could hear each other.
Wow.
No, I take that back. Enoch one of us had trouble hearing, but it had to do with, he was pushing the button far enough.
So was Linda able to hear?
So, right, pardon me?
Was Linda able to hear?
So, hold on.
Good.
So 5 of us, 2 of us remaining were Autumn and Linda. Linda has a little trouble with, follow through.
Mhm.
I think she's amazing as a host. I don't know that she's a radio communicator.
Probably not.
However, she's amazing as a host, and she and I had our own little private test because that's what she was comfortable with. And so she could hear me and I could hear her.
Oh, cool.
Same thing with Autumn. Autumn wasn't able because she works on Saturdays. And so the bottom line is all 7 hosts were able to communicate with the hub at some point. So the next thing I would like to do is I'd like to have Michael Dane run a test and give some time, he wants to do that, and then I'll have all the hosts radio up and see if they can hear Michael Dane.
That's a great idea.
And then I feel like we've beat it up enough as far as what the barrel program hosts are doing with these.
Well, you don't want to scare them. You don't want to scare them.
Exactly right, although everybody was very excited and they all were very pumped that they all were able to communicate. Because after we did the radio thing, I immediately pulled off as the hub and then we communicated by email. Because I've been a part of listening to a test where then it's like, I can't hear you, and it'd be like, forget about it. So we didn't do that on radios. I did that privately via text and emails. And so I communicated with everybody. Everybody was excited. Everybody knew how to got them working. They all knew how to push the button. They all knew how to charge them. And I was shocked at the range that Autumn and I could hear each other and I could hear Linda just fine. So that means
I'm
North
amazed.
Point and that means South Point. That
amazing.
means Stonebridge, that means Davis.
Those little bitty
Yeah.
radios. I mean, I'm
She
so.
did such a great job. She spoke clearly, distinctly. There was no, everybody all together and I couldn't hear what you
That's
were saying.
right.
Just like we do with 4th grade.
I was gonna say. It was great, and your written instructions.
And I had it all written down, it was not, there was not a lot of room for error, but thank you for going at that, but that's just that's what it was. So yeah, so surprise, surprise. So
That's
it's fine to leave we can continue to put these in the barrels, and I can continue to hub that up. Next step is I'm gonna be in touch with Michael Dane to ask him to run a test for us, so that I'm not hubbing it, he is, and then we can see if they can communicate.
That sounds good.
Okay.
That's a bigger step. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, number D, community education event, October the 11th. So I've been trying to pull in people to do this. I asked David Jameson with CERT to talk about, to-go bags, how to make your own to-go bags. We talked about that. And he said he'd be happy to do that. Samantha Buckley's going to join us. And I asked Samantha to talk about sirens and what do you do, what's the first thing that you do in an event? Because I think people that will show up at this event will still think that we have sirens, even though we're communicating that they're no longer working. But I'd like for her to do that. I've left a couple of messages for the gas company to see if they'd like to join us. Haven't heard back from them. And Marlene Munden, I've asked her to help us, she's with ODHS, to talk about evacuations, what I just mentioned to you a while ago. And then, let's see, also Brady, this is an Ask the Expert situation. Would you be able to show people how to drain their water heater
Oh,
at the community center? Is there room enough to do that?
Do we have a water heater for them to drain?
We should, yeah.
We do?
Well,
We're not,
you don't know when it's hooked up currently.
I was gonna say, I don't know if we have one down at
Well,
the community hall that
do
would
the
be
plumbing
great.
part, right?
Hmm?
You could just do the plumbing part to show.
that's the one I'm looking for, the plumbing part. Would you be able to talk to people as to?
yeah, so the one at the community hall is behind a, big wooden cabinet.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And it's like, and it's in the restroom.
Uh-huh.
They built a plywood cover around it.
Well, I knew that
They
we'd be
put
able
a
to
whale
find
on the
one.
side and put it in the ADA bathroom.
So would
We
you?
can just show a YouTube video.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Oh, that's a good idea.
there's tons of them about that on YouTube.
Oh.
And turning off gas.
Do it
tons of them about
yourself,
turning off
Oh, yeah.
turn
gas.
off gas, anything to do around the house, do yourself.
Sounds good, all right, sounds good. And then, ask Patrick Gans to do a little thing about fire prevention. Is there anything else that you can think of that you think that we should have as an, ask the expert, any other ideas?
Chair, I have a comment on this Samantha
Okay.
Buckley thing.
Yeah.
By October, the issue of the sirens would hopefully be put to bed.
I hope so.
So what is she gonna tell people? What to do, because we don't have one?
I think what, if we have a, local event, what's gonna happen? That,
Okay, because the education of a tsunami, she can, or earthquake, she can do that.
Mhm.
But the notifications, I mean, I guess what I'm saying is we don't wanna say, oh, by the way,
we don't have sirens.
we don't have a siren, you could use
Well,
a siren.
I think from her point of view, the ground's going to drop and then what do you do?
Right, she would basically do in a regular presentation of what happens for Cascadia.
And then promote our Everbridge
Right.
program would be perfect.
Yeah.
It's kind of like in lieu of sirens.
And
Yeah.
really educate the difference between
Yeah.
advisory, alarm,
Yes, please,
and
God.
warning, because they don't get it.
And then I actually had a conversation with her at the National Night Out about it. And so a lot of it has to do with using the correct vocabulary, which is I've really worked on away from out and about. That you call them distant tsunamis versus local tsunamis, rather than just use the word tsunami, because you use the word tsunami and then it's like, yeah. But if you use the word distant tsunami, that gives you, and as she was describing to me at the National Night Out, that the reason why Everbridge did not put out the frequency of alerts that FEMA did was because Everbridge was using all of the information coming from FEMA, recognizing that we were never past an advisory stage, and that had there been sirens, they never would have been turned on anyway.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't a siren event.
There
And
would
the
have,
reason-
we would
And the
not
reason
turn on.
why is because it was a distant tsunami. And so if people start using, if we use that vocabulary, people just use tsunami.
Period.
And we're very fortunate here on the Oregon coast to get to benefit from all kinds of tsunami information, distant tsunami and local tsunami. And their reaction time is very different than what we do. If it was a local tsunami, even if there was a siren, what you react to is the shake.
Mhm.
And so that, I believe, is what she'll share, Kim, because that's what she said to me.
That's what she should share.
And that's what that's what
And
she
that's
told me.
basically tsunami earthquake 101.
And that's what she was sharing. It's also what we heard at what Newport does. Newport, their message is, you feel the shake, go to high ground. They don't have the sirens there either.
I
And so they're all about, if you're feeling a shake, you need to go to high ground.
Go up the hill,
That's
it's on.
exactly right. So it's just a matter of vocabulary and education. That
That sounds
a
good.
local tsunami and a distant tsunami are very different events.
Now, is this enough, yes, or should we look at others? I have a geologist that Fran gave me her information. I could contact her, I don't
I
think
think
that's,
we've had enough of the scare
Okay,
tactics.
okay,
We've
all right.
scared everybody, now let's
Okay.
get them
well,
to,
I'm just
how do
asking.
you prepare?
Okay,
Well, I went to a geology seminar in Tillamook where they get the core samples.
uh-huh,
Oh,
And the more core samples and updated, I mean, it used to be where every 200 years, but the one in 1700 was so severe that it could be 2000 years. They just don't know.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
yeah, but it created Tillamook Bay and anyway,
But yeah, it's the
it
big
was a
one.
great seminar.
that's great. So you think we have enough people with everybody?
If our focus is gonna be, so now that we've given you all this great information, what are you personally doing to
That's
prepare?
right.
And then here's my go bag, it lives in my car. When we were headed down and we got the tsunami warning, I'm like, my go bag's in my car, I don't put it in her car. Because we were in her car. And it never even occurred to me that when I catch a ride to Newport, I should schlep my stuff with me.
It was a good lesson.
But
Well,
that's-
heck, we went to a drive to the valley and she slept her stuff with me.
I did, if I'm in
Wow.
Depoe, it goes with.
Really? See, stuff like
And I said,
that.
I'm just gonna be using her stuff.
Well, I actually have one in my car too, so, yeah.
Yeah, you just, right, exactly.
Just do.
So anyway,
Okay, great, thank you. So in September, I'll give you,
are we gonna do hot dogs soon?
yeah, do you mind?
No,
That
I can
would-
do it.
Yeah, that would be great. Hot dogs, anything else? Just do the normal stuff. I think people are really like that.
Okay, chips and
Uh-huh,
We want
The
to
freeze
send
dried
them home saying, whoa, we had great food.
I know, exactly.
food.
And
Okay.
I will make my famous cookies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank
I
you.
was in
hot dogs.
Thank you, Kathy,
Yes,
appreciate that. Okay, so moving right along, emergency barrel program, so we did have 6 people that came by and asked about the barrels, and so I qualified them. I would like for someone to further qualify them, because I think that everybody is okay to move forward. Does anybody want to own that project? Okay, so I wrote some notes down here.
So you've seen their supplies?
I'm sorry,
You've seen their supplies?
there's actually, I think, 6.
So you went to their houses?
No, I just, at the event, I talked to all 6 of them.
Right, but have you seen what they have for their emergency?
I've only talked to them, that's probably that they're prepared,
Yeah.
and I don't know
Absolutely.
if they are or not,
Perfect.
but I do, if you wanna just call.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Emergency preparedness.
All right.
And then I handed out,
Yeah, and if, there's a guy here that was in Stonebridge, and my thought is, I don't care if we have all of them up in Stonebridge, we're just giving them out.
So
Okay.
just so that you know, so we have all of our barrels right now, the 2 islands we don't have in are 1 and 5, and as you've ever looked at the more we talk about island 1, the amount of people there for me to find to put in, we pass that around, is just about that little division up there above Boiler Bay.
Yeah.
I think I've got
River
a,
Bay Street.
I think I've got a contact up there right now, they're not full-time residents there. Boiler Bay's out of the city. Do you know somebody up there? So are they prepared? Do they have?
I don't know.
Okay, so now it's gotten to that, because there's very few people there. Most of our 3, 4, and 5 are where we 2, 3, and 4 is where all of our barrels are right now, where most of our population is, comes up to that. We don't have in 5 and we don't have in 1. And so, but if you look at 1, there's very few people there, so that's why we're having a tight.
I know, but what, shouldn't we put one in like, close one of those townhomes there? I could ask, Sandy, what's her
We're
name?
not putting one down at Roadwork.
No, I'm talking, I know somebody in the townhomes that lives there, full-time, in Win One. She's right next to Boiler Bay Park.
Perfect. So yeah, reach out and then I'll
Okay.
have to actually talk to them.
Area is fine.
So, Brady, I have a question for you. We're talking about location, putting barrels and,
5
is
is,
that location?
Is what, is the, your.
Thundering Shores is in the inundation
That's in
zone.
the
Oh.
It's in the inundation zone, so we can't put it at Thundering,
but
we can't.
anything past Boiler Bay is out of the city.
No, but it's up the hill.
Yeah.
It's right here. I'm trying to find somebody that's
I didn't
right.
go, I got it from
I know.
Same thing.
That's not the same.
Okay, so I have a question. Deb, I have a question for Brady about that. So Brady, there's a property that's on, Lane Street and Williams, and it would be the northeast area. It's a house with this huge lawn, and it says private property. Do you happen to know who those people are?
Yeah,
Because it's a big yard, and it would be a perfect spot to put a cash, even if we have to do a long-term leasing, be a perfect spot for a cash. Do you know them?
Mhm. It's,
Okay.
So this is the place, right?
it's,
This is Thundering Shores.
I'm going,
what's the
Yeah,
lady's name that,
So I'm trying to find it.
Lindsay?
Okay.
Which way are you talking about, this one right here?
So I'm asking Brady right now, there's a,
But again, there's so few people.
That's the
I'm not
property.
gonna,
No,
but
no,
we're not talking, the population is in here.
I wanna say,
Right.
here's I'm asking.
She Lake property.
Shoelake property.
I just have a
Shoelace
Townsville
property.
Holdings on that.
What is it?
I have a
Shoelace.
building on
A
that.
lady on Facebook that bashes the city all the time,
That's her?
that's her property, yeah.
Oh.
Don't go there.
I couldn't think of her name, I should get help.
You don't think she would have to?
Shoelake Wisniewski, that's all Wisniewski property back there.
Is it
They're
really?
doing all that.
Anyway, I just shared this way because where most of our population is where we've got
Right,
barrels.
right.
That's good.
The one, we don't have any barrels, we don't have a lot of population there, we're constantly trying to figure somebody out in that area, and 5 is a little bit about COVID, so that's the.
You might talk to, Helen Douglas. She lives at the top of Eastridge.
Helen Douglas,
Anyway, so you were asking for a barrel update, we're always looking forward to put these last 3 that we have and then buy more if we want them, and that's what I do.
Great. Thank
okay, sounds good. All right, let's move right along. Randy only has just about maybe 15 minutes. Let's try to ask Brady, because it's important that he hears what's going on. Okay,
Right.
so, sirens, last meeting I said I'd look into it, and I found that Cannon Beach does have them, they like them.
Mhm.
And Brady said, not so much.
Well, we just had bad experience with it.
Oh, I wanna show you guys something. Just give me a minute
You gotta
here.
see this video, it's
Apparently you have lost it.
Okay.
Here we go. I think it's important that everybody sees it. Where you at, Zoom? Okay, share.
Do you ever work with any like hot water heater installers and stuff?
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if somebody from them could bring an old one. Oh, and just show.
We could maybe-
Not
I
sharing.
could come up with that.
Stand by it.
Not
Like,
Yeah,
this is
I could,
like,
North Lincoln could help me.
but even something like that.
Not for that.
I think it'd be helpful.
I like
It's
that. That'd be
absolutely
hard to
do
do,
that.
wouldn't it?
I've done stuff like
Wow.
that before, and, yeah, absolutely.
I think that'd be great.
So Deb,
Would you?
We could bring a Wi-Fi, you guys,
Yeah.
they can have a,
Obviously, that's what it was.
they can have a small.
Yes.
Yeah,
talking
these
about.
stores, they all have a little thing.
big time for Dennis, because I wasn't
If
here.
you think you could do that, I think that'd be
Yes,
we
I'm
could.
aware.
We could do that for.
Great.
Alright,
this is nothing ever.
Yes, I know.
Nobody's gonna understand
Yeah,
that.
no, I
Okay.
totally got it. I
So
explained
Brady's
it to
just
others.
gonna try to get, suggested getting it used or
Yeah.
Good.
And he's gonna.
Okay, so apparently I'm not able to share, but before we, while she's seeing what she can do on that. So I gave you guys the memo that I put together on this, because I think it's very important. As we know, everybody on Facebook got it wrong. And then all of a sudden, the city is evil because we don't have sirens that work, when we would never have set them off at a watch or advisory anyway. But I also wanted to point out, because everybody seems to think sirens are the solution, but they're not. They're not the only solution, and only 3 cities in the coast have sirens right now. Lincoln City is not going to fund the repair, neither is Seaside. So what is that saying? That they do not find those worth the money put into. What they're all saying is the same thing we're saying. We should be relying on, everybody should have no radio. Everybody should be signed up to either Everbridge or Lincoln County Emergency Management. You know, Brady, which you kept telling me, Brady said, turn on the news, you know? You know, but if we don't have any power, there are other alternatives. So our messaging should not be that we need a siren, because again, the other thing is that people seem to not understand, outdoor warning siren means that you have to be outdoors. You're not gonna hear it indoors.
Yeah, you're not gonna.
So a
And
lot
you're
of
not
people
gonna
are
hear it in the middle of the
complaining,
night.
we're like, we're not gonna hear it indoors, you know,
I just wanna say that people could be visiting from Nebraska and they think, oh my gosh, they have tornadoes here.
have a tornado.
Or they
Right.
could be visiting from somewhere where they use it for something else, you know?
Yeah, and ours
They're
weren't ever really
sirens.
sirens, ours were enunciators, what we have. And they got them to have the fleet of flowers announced through the whole city, it's one of the main goals for what we have.
Well, we should
And
share
so they
some.
say, this is a test, we said test 7 times in the testing.
Good hair.
And then at the very end, we said, this is a test of the Depoe Bay emergency system. And all people heard were emergency. Out of all, we said test like 7 times. And then the county didn't want to do it because of the liability. It puts the liability, if someone doesn't hear it and something happens, then it's the city's fault because they got hurt slamming their hand in the car because all they heard was emergency. And it just became a big nightmare. We had one for a high noon warning that the mayor wanted to set off. We made the news.
I know. I
Of
was
how
there.
awful we were, and I got phone calls from the fire department. Anyway, it was, if it was a siren, it should have been a siren on the fire line. The first responders from the get-go. But they wanted, the group at the time wanted to have
But no,
enunciators.
he was gonna send it off again, and I told him,
Okay, there's lots of conversations
yeah,
going on.
I think as soon as they're down, part of the problem is that there's something visible. People think
Yeah,
they-
oh, yeah.
No,
I
I
say-
think that, you're right, Deb, I think that's part of the problem, but that is not why people were complaining. People were complaining because they suddenly thought that they should have sirens and they don't. So the video was going to show, and I'll send it to you guys,
Okay.
is the city abandoned in 2011 set off their siren. I showed it to Kathy, Brady, and Gina have all seen it. It's gonna set off their siren. What the video shows is birds flying on the siren, and then it showed a whole seawall, people standing along watching for the waves
Yeah.
and filming for the waves. So the siren is going to take care of a few people, but most people will do what I did in Okinawa when I got there. And as a young whippersnapper, I wanted to see a tsunami. I got hit by 3 of them when I was in Okinawa. First one, guess where I was with me and my other knuckleheaded friends? Down on the seawall because we wanted to see the big waves.
Yeah.
You can't stop that from happening. They were standing under the siren. If you guys want to see it, I'll send it to you. But they were standing under the siren. What's even scarier is there was a fire guy and a police guy down there.
Yeah.
They weren't chasing people off the beach.
No,
And this was a tsunami warning, you were gonna get hit with a tsunami.
6-foot waves.
And they
Yeah.
still stood there. So why should any city put that much money on something when people won't pay attention anyway?
Well, I think that this will come up under public comments at our city council meeting.
Oh, good.
I think it will.
They'll show them the video.
I've heard from one I've heard from one counselor.
Well, if it's under public comment, then what
Exactly.
the madam mayor gets to say is we'll look into it.
Mhm.
They don't have to address it, they're gonna be answered.
Yeah.
We have first responders, and it's the fire department, and it's,
And there is a real concern among staff about being responsible for
Yeah.
setting it off.
See, that's just it.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
why, none of my
Lanai,
guys are
from the
sewer and
poor
water
guy
guys.
at Lanai got fired or resigned, Lahaina, sorry,
Lahaina,
thank you.
yeah.
Because he didn't.
They thought they would send people up to the hills where the fire was.
Right.
Because they thought it was.
Because it's fire, and because they weren't listening to the message. I mean, that, people don't pay attention like they should.
that's true. Thank you.
Or like me, when I was in the Air Force in my mid-20s, was stupid enough to go down to the seawall and look for a tsunami. But I can guarantee you on the second, third tsunami, I didn't go down.
I'm sure.
Debbie's right, though, I get a lot of questions of what I see then.
That's
Why
exactly
they
right.
were-
Freddie
So
needs
if
to
they
get
were all-
them down.
We're gonna work on getting them down. In
That'd
the
be
meantime,
great.
I say they're
Yeah.
giant honey dippers, because they kind of look like.
They do actually.
Can they be used for scrap metal or something?
Yeah, well, we could use the poles for sure, for parking lots or whatever, maybe the poles can
Hey,
be.
they're
But-
going to employee metal.
We spend a lot of money on the poles, cost as much as the annunciators, they're not really sirens.
And you couldn't even hear them when they went on. You heard the siren, but you didn't hear when they went on.
It'll be helpful when they're not there.
Yeah.
All right,
And
so
then I
the
will
other
tell
thing,
you, bringing them down is going to cause conversation,
Oh,
which we can use to learn from.
Right.
It's an opportunity.
so this was just simply, I took Karen's idea, created one of our own. Apparently, this is not just related to whoever you got it from. It's a big thing. Most people only do the watch and warning. They don't do an advisory. This was my version for Depoe Bay.
That was
That was
good.
great.
Fishy.
That's really good.
It was my version for Depoe Bay. We can use both, but I thought, people are gonna relate here in Depoe Bay, because they were into fishing.
It's cute.
That's good, I like it.
So,
That's good, and it's about conversation, and as long as we all are putting out the same message.
Yeah,
That there's
And I will
more
put-
than one, the
put those
tsunamis
on
are
the
local in it, and
It's
that's
just
not.
like the fire, get ready, get set, go down.
Exactly.
a little emergency radio that.
So Brandon, I
what's
have a
going
couple
on.
more questions for you. I had talked to you
Sure.
about getting material to paint our
Yes,
current
right,
caches.
right,
And
that's on
so,
my to-do list.
that's on his.
I've looked in local areas, and they just don't carry the snow cone in large, but I like to get 2 5-gallon buckets, like per container. And it's, the white container should have a white snow coat. If it's darker containers, they have different colors, but, it's basically the elastomeric coating that is designed for, either old mobile homes or these Conex boxes. And you power wash them and let it dry, and then you put this coating on. And as long as it's done right, it could be put on with heavy rollers or almost like a wallpaper brush, it's a thick brush, or
Right.
almost like a broom that you sacrifice. But, I've done it before, my crew could probably do it, it doesn't take long, it's a little messy, but we could get
Okay.
jumpsuits
Will you
and
be
do
able to
it.
do that before September 19th?
Yeah, we'll pick a dry day, try to do, I'm gonna get the material, I just need, next trip to the valley, we're gonna pick it up. We're gonna go probably to the auction, we'll go to Home Depot or Lowe's and get that, and put it on the city.
Sounds
I'll
good.
just make sure the receipt goes to Kim and we itemize it for,
Okay.
but, yeah, I've been meaning to do that, I've got a battle plan.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Okay, so now we're down to public comments. Do we have any public comments online or anywhere? Okay. No? Oh,
This should be deleted.
So Kim, have you talked to us about Economic Development Agency readiness? grant
That was
process?
that
I thought you did, okay.
Okay.
And so no public, that's okay, no public comments. So adjourn next meeting.
We have the culverts, we have them, it's
You
just
have what?
the culverts,
You got number C,
Sure.
letter C.
Yeah.
but, yeah, they're stored at the water plant, but we can maybe talk about that next time.
Yeah, I'd like to have on this side of the river.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. And,
Maybe we can order 2 more, I mean, if you guys want, I could have 2 on this side and 2 on that side, or
yeah, that
Well,
probably.
maybe that's what we should do. They're not horrible.
Brady, how much are they? 'Cause you guys will, it'll hit your budget.
It's- They're not taking that, they're probably $400 a piece, right in there.
Well, they might be more now.
That's what
We
they
can give
were.
you a quote at the next meeting, right?
Yeah,
Submit a quote in the next
Can
meeting.
you do me a favor and tell me when the October meeting is, because September 8th, I won't be at this meeting, so I won't have the next one down.
I don't have the calendar in front of me. Somebody have a calendar?
Gina can tell me, Gina's looking.
I got it.
Thanks.
The next emergency preparedness meeting?
Is September 8th, and then the October one is when?
October is, that would be are you guys first or second Monday?
Second Monday.
The 13th.
13th, yeah.
Will you be here or not be here?
I'll be here for that one, I won't be here for September.
Okay, all
No,
right.
no.
You won't be here for September?
No.
Okay. Alright.
This meeting?
Will you be here in September?
Most likely.
Okay, good, second. Yeah, okay, good. There'll be a little
No, for
smaller quorum here.
I was just gonna say, is that enough for 12?
Yeah, I think so, we could 3 out of 5. And we'll just talk about,
Yeah,
that's very good. Okay,
So then at the 13th, you want, since we can talk about hospitality, emergency preparedness
Yeah, when?
on the October 13th. is that
Yeah, I
it?
think so,
Okay.
absolutely.
And what are we gonna call our October 11th?
Ask the experts, only thing I can think of, that's not very original, no, have an idea? What do you think, guys, what do you want to call it?
Okay, so the 8th is, oh no, this is.
Sorry, I can't think of a good name to call our event on October 11th.
And what it's, and it's all about,
Ask the expert,
ask the expert, yeah, that's that.
that's what I keep thinking, if that's okay.
Okay, I think that's perfect.
Kim,
We have a flyer that I can start putting on.
If the event's in October, I haven't even begun to think about putting a flyer together.
Okay,
So,
okay.
so I'll get more of an idea about who's coming and whatever, but so far I've got a pretty good idea.
We have to go get it.
Okay, any other comments? Okay, thank you very much, adjourned, thank you very much, everybody.
Everybody.
oh, you have to go to that. What's that?